our show. So come on in and take a seat. Warrior class, we got the keys. Dun, 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 dun. To get you where you need to be, just study our show, and you're gonna grow like crazy. Watching you will see. Dun, 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 dun. Warrior class, we got the keys, just watch our show, 'cause it's for you and your babies.
Welcome to Warrior Class.
Where the teachers would pass.
And you will too if you pass.
All right, this is the weakest parts of the body to strike for maximum damage episode. We're going to get into it after the news. So we got any news?
Speaking on weakest parts, did you know that fear weakens the kidneys? Worry weakens the stomach. Stress weakens the heart, as we know. Anger weakens the liver. And grief weakens the lungs. So this has all been studied. I like to tell y'all things, like I say, that science catch up to what the ancestors have always known. And so I wanted to bring y'all a few things dealing with health that we don't usually associate with health, or we don't really pay attention to, or we just don't know, or it's been so backwards the way we've been taught health that we've been taught something contrary to this. So
now,
said,
how do you all think the ancestors knew these things?
That's a great question, Bob. I guess somebody was worrying, and his stomach started hurting. They're like, excuse my language. Every time I worry, I got to use the bathroom. You found out your wife was cheating, you got a heart attack. Fred Stafford knew. He knew. I don't know. That's a good question about how did they know? I'm thinking trial and error.
Some things are so old sometimes that we don't even remember how they knew, you know?
That too.
Okay.
Some things I found out through divination.
Oh, okay. There you go. Great. One of us should have said that.
Of course.
That is the voice of the creator, if you will, creation, if you want to call it that. And it's speaking directly through a good priest. So.
Very, very good point. Very good point, Bo. Peace to the chat. I'm trying to see y'all.
Either of you have us up on YouTube?
I'm on YouTube now. I see us on YouTube.
Peace to Brittany Bowman, Jadarian, Eugene Mason, and the Nurkers.
Ooh, I can't pronounce one of these names. I just know Kaba and Ankh at the end.
Oh, Aket, Kaba, Sank.
Peace.
The Spider-Man. Peace.
Environmental study, observational study. That's what. Okay, yeah, that's one way too. Like I was saying.
But yes, so observational study is a form or internal study, environmental study. Those are forms of divination too.
Yeah, boy, yeah, boy.
He's done
Eugene,
that until he appeared.
Jesus. You talking about Eugene?
I guess he talking about the white man.
Oh, okay. Oh, none of the stress we can. No. Peace, peace, peace. So, also, what I wanted to touch on, I was just building with Bob on this. You know, when I say we, I'm talking about Western uh, civilization or Western philosophy is words don't hurt you. But did our ancestors believe that? And the answer is no. So
Not
I had
believe, still believe.
exactly. So real quick, I got these notes that I had jotted down not too long ago when I had seen this thing on this science page, and it says it was talking about ancient healers believe certain words rot the body faster than alcohol. Modern science has finally caught up and proved them right. So in a temple in Mesopotamia, in temples in Mesopotamia and Egypt, healers kept lists of forbidden words. They call them curses, insults, and even self mockery was forbidden in a lot of our ancient cultures. They were seen as they weren't seen as superstition. They were treated as poison. They felt that spoken often enough, they were believed to eat at the body the way that wine can eat at the liver. Even Greek physicians, because they studied our shit, observed soldiers who repeated phrases like "I'm weak and I'm doomed" after battle, that their wounds healed slower than men who spoke of victory. To them, words weren't abstract; they were medicine or infection, depending on the tongue that carried it. So today, neuroscientists see the same thing under MRI. Negative self-talk spikes cortisol, weakens immunity, and accelerates cellular aging. Uh, a lot of people like I'm getting old and that type of that type of thing. Which
Yeah, boom.
chronic exposure to hostile language is biologically indistinguishable from chronic toxin exposure. That's what leading neurologists are saying now. Neuroscientists are saying. Um, the strangest part is that modern experiments show insults trigger inflammation, even when we hear them from strangers. The body treats verbal attacks as physical threats, and ancient healers didn't need lab coats. They saw that, and so they shamed slander because they understood it made most people sick. So basically, what they're saying and what they believe and what is now understood is that words carve the nervous system like alcohol carves the liver. Our ancestors weren't naive. They were early biochemists, warning us that the language isn't just sounds, it's chemistry with grammar. So I say these things because a lot of times, we have been conditioned to talk negatively about ourselves and our people. And it's one of the things I try to be conscious about is how we say, man, we ain't gonna never, black people always, and I always try to tell people, especially on social media, don't put that spell on yourself. And it sounds all mystical and when I say spell, but I'm really just saying, your words do have power, how you think and how you accept too, because we also talked about this at Bob's house. I mean, I'm assuming saying, also when someone insults you, you have to guard yourself from certain talk. You can't let certain things. Sound is tricky because we know music can penetrate your subconscious without our permission. And words can have a similar effect. So we have to be really guarded on what we decide to let into our minds and believe. Somebody call you, silly, stupid, ugly, whatever it is, you have to be guarded about it. You have to guard yourself about it. The problem is if it's true, somebody saying you're being real nasty, disgusting, and whatever, then you got some work to do. So you got to live that out. So let's just be careful and understand that a lot of things that we may have thought was superstition has a lot of science to it.
Yeah, Bo. There's a it's called a Zen story. I can't remember the whole story, but the parable of it is basically someone goes to learn from a teacher, and then they start hurling all these insults at the teacher, and the teacher kind of remains calm about the whole thing. And then at the end, the student goes to him and asks him, "Hey, why'd you let him, talk to you like that?" And the parable of the story is if someone comes to give you a gift and you are not there to receive it, then who does the gift belong to? And the story is called The Gift of Insults. So the point of that is, if someone is trying to insult you, do you accept it? And if you don't accept it, then who has to carry that negativity from that insult? The person who tried to give it to you. So, when it comes to insults, like you said, because most of the things that you're talking about are things that you do to yourself. But the insult thing and the fact that it triggers inflammation, like you were saying, that's someone coming from the outside of you trying to do something to you, but you don't have to accept that. That was the story.
I think that's pretty powerful. So another thing I've been studying or dealing with a friend or associate that has a lot of gut issues. So I've been looking into different things that that we may not think about that affects our gut. And one of the things that people never really think about is something as simple as dish soap. Dish soap. We don't pay attention to the chemicals in it. We wash our dishes in. So this is a recent study that found out that common dishwashing soap doesn't just rinse away. It leaves behind residuals so small you can't taste it, but strong enough to inflame your gut. And a lot of times you go to somebody's house and you can sometimes you taste some of the dish soap on the glass or on the plate and everything. That's when it's really heavy. But even 1 part soap and 20,000 part water chemicals, like alcohol, ethoxylate, ethyl, how do you say this? Ethyl oxide? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I get carried.
I'm sure you're close enough.
Is ethoxylates. I'm sorry, that's how you say it. Ethoxylates. They were shown to weaken the gut's protective lining if just 1 part in 20,000 parts water. Then that can weaken the protective lining. That's what doctors call leaky gut. When microscopic gaps form in your intestines, letting toxins, food particles, and bacteria leak into the bloodstream. Over time, this fuels chronic inflammation linked to digestive problems, autoimmune condition, and fatigue. And the wildest part is it isn't just from swallowing a mouthful of soap, it's from the trace film left on your plates and cups after washing. Half of America struggles with gut issues. So maybe it's not just the food, it's what's clinging to the plates you're eating from in your body. And if your body's a temple, the walls are being chipped away by something you never thought of twice. So what can you do about that?
Be careful also of eating at restaurants.
I was going to mention that.
Me and a friend of mine, we ate at, I'll name the restaurant. We ate at Soul Vegetarian in Chicago.
Uh-oh.
And we used to eat there all the time. And out of 7 times, I caught salmonella from there. My friend, he got it so bad. Now he was a bodybuilder and power lifter, non-steroidal power lifter and bodybuilder. He lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
He caught salmonella from them and lost 80 pounds.
Ooh.
I called him and told him, because this is my 7th time catching it, and it's from you all. And they were like, no, because we wash our stuff thoroughly, blah, blah, blah. They were the same towel they were using to wash the silverware. They were also wiping the tables and the plates off.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and that's really basic. They make you take like certifications and stuff when you work in restaurants. Like that's really basic knowledge.
Well,
that someone at least one of them had.
Well, so vegetarian probably doesn't. They probably don't make them take nothing.
Yeah, but you have to have it's normally it's one person in the establishment.
Right. The manager has to take it now.
Right. But in bigger operations,
they didn't
do it.
Now I've eaten at So Vegetarian in Atlanta, So Vegetarian in DC. Haven't had that problem, but in Chicago, they were fucking me up. Until it took 7 times to get wise to not go back no more. For me,
man, that is.
And it only took and Khalil, he hadn't gotten sick. He was defending them at first, and he ate from them. He got it too. But and yes, that's elementary cleanliness. You know to not wash the dishes, the silverware, and the table with the same cloth.
I used to work at a restaurant. I washed dishes. I was crew leader in the kitchen. And still, even though I know the process and it shouldn't be harmful, I hate to say this. I don't want to give anybody a issue, but I can't help but think about silverware in a negative light. Like I never get past like this is the 10,000 people that use this fork. Like it's hard for me to get past that aspect of it. Just the fork and spoon, the knife, I'm cool with the knife. But that fork and spoon, man, especially the spoon. Because a lot of time with the fork, you're using your teeth to pull it off. The spoon is going all up in your mouth. That's just, oh my God. It's hard for me to use restaurant silverware. If you're small, especially, I'm gonna be honest with you. The smaller you are, sometimes the harder it is for me because you don't have that expensive dishwasher with that hot steam coming out of it that's really doing the work. If you just wash the dishes in the back, oh my gosh, I don't think nobody does that anymore. That not too many people still wash dishes.
It depends. I said it depends.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, it's funny that Baba mentioned restaurants, because I work as a waiter and a bartender, so I'm in, restaurant. Well, I'm in situations where people clean dishes in those big machines a lot. And a couple of years ago, you bringing this article out reminded me of an article I read a couple of years ago that talked about the same thing, but it was saying that industrial soap and industrial dishwashers are even more harmful to the gut. So much so that I actually, when we had a meeting at work, I brought it out. I told everyone, hey, I read about this morning, because we're all around there, all every day eating off of those plates that have been washed with that industrial soap. So yeah, if you eat out in restaurants a lot, or if you're in situations where people are, eating in situations where the plates that you're eating off of and the silverware that you're using has been cleaned with industrial soap, you're placing your gut health in even more danger.
Wow. And those have repeat.
Our
They get
manifesto said he doesn't like public pools either. Now,
Yeah, I mean,
on public pool, I've been married to my wife for 26 years. She saw me get in a public pool one time about 4 years ago, and she took pictures, because I used to get in the public pool until we were in Phoenix, and we stayed in this condo, and my mother wanted to take my daughter, my oldest daughter, down to the pool. So she said, "Come to the pool with us." And I said, "Okay." We're walking down to the pool, and then my mother said, "Turn around." She covered my daughter's eyes. I said, "What?" And she said, "Look at the pool." And there was a woman and man in there, and the woman was fingering the man's ass.
Oh my God.
In the public pool. She said, "Nah." I said, "Oh no, we're not going back to that." So I'll get in the ocean, Lake Michigan, but a public pool, no sir. Like I said, that I did that. I told my wife to get pictures, because this is the only time you're gonna see me in a pool, a public pool, and that's why I got in the pool. But yeah, she was fingering his asshole right there in the public pool.
Damn it, Baba, why your stories got to be like this? That's what.
Hey man.
So one of the things you could do as far as dishwashing liquid, a lot of people don't know, is baking soda. Baking soda cleans just as well as dishwashing liquid, and it even has health benefits to using it. So on that, real quick, I just want to go briefly on the health benefits of baking soda, because I feel like it's one of those things that we forget about. So doctors have used baking soda to fight the flu today, and research showed that it fights cancer cells and kills inflammation. So why don't we use it? And these are 8 ways, real quick, that we can use baking soda to transform your health. So
now let me say this about baking soda though. The baking soda, like you use baking soda to trap scents in your refrigerator. Don't use that baking soda to cook with. Because this brother I knew, his mother, my mother was, and my father came to Atlanta, and we went over to their house, and my father was barbecuing. And she said, because my mother was about to make some cornbread. And she said, we got baking soda in the refrigerator. And my mother went and she looked, and she said, "Oh, nah. I sent my son to the store." So she sent me to the store to get some other ingredients too, but baking soda was one of them. She said, "Man, that woman wanted us to eat the baking soda that's trapping the scents." So be careful of that, y'all.
You definitely don't want to eat that, because if it's trapping the smell, it's trapping the bacteria, the mold, and everything else too. So yeah, be careful with that.
Now,
So real quick,
Lake Michigan be having fecal pollution issues. I'm sure all lakes do,
yeah.
but the part that we're in, it's not private, but it's ain't no fecal matter where around where my mother lives, except in the toilet.
Yeah, you got to be careful in Atlanta because a lot of these ponds and lakes are connected to
Yeah.
the sewage, and people don't realize it. And they
Yep.
think they found a little duck off spot where they can get their feet wet, and it's really disgusting with because you
Right.
don't know what's going on. So real quick,
Me
health
and
aid.
Emmanuel Briggs are traumatized.
You who?
I said, me and Emmanuel Briggs are traumatized by these stories.
So okay. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. All right. So benefits of baking soda: buffer lactic acid and improves muscle recovery. So a lot of bodybuilders use baking soda, and a lot of people that work out use baking soda. It supports kidney function by reducing acid load.
Mm.
It neutralizes stomach acid to relieve reflux.
Mm-hmm.
It lowers the systemic inflammation by modulating immune response. So, while pharmaceutical solutions dominate the market, studies suggest a simple compound may provide safe, cost-effective benefits at a cellular level. So sometimes science, a lot of times, science ends up circling back to the basics. So for pH balance, when you're too acidic, baking soda is alkaline, so it's going to restore the balance, keep your metabolism steady. Oral health, because we know fluoride is controversial, baking soda is not. It kills bacteria, removes plaque, neutralizes acids, and whitens your teeth without toxic side effects. So that would be nature's toothpaste. And of course, like I say, indigestion and reflux, baking soda can neutralize stomach acid in minutes, relief without additives or long-term damage. And like I said, that athletes secretly use it, has been using for decades. It makes muscles last longer and recover faster. For chronic inflammation, chronic inflammation is what fuels arthritis, heart disease, and even cancer. So studies show that baking soda calms the immune system and lowers inflammation across the body. And of course, your kidneys filter. Excuse me. Your kidneys filter 50 gallons of blood daily. So acid buildup overworks them. So baking soda can help neutralize it slowly, slowing early kidney decline. And so if you're bloated after a heavy meal, baking soda restores stomach balance, improves food breakdown, fast relief without the pharmaceutical tags. And
Brittany Bowman says you can't take it too often because of the high sodium. Is that true?
that can be true. It's also different kinds of baking soda that you can get too, because sodium isn't exactly bad for you as people would think. If you have issues, some of us have issues. That's a whole nother story, and I would have to get into that because a lot of times us. Well, let me just keep going first. Uh, yeah, but orally you don't take it a lot of times, which you shouldn't have to. If you got acid reflux every day, you shouldn't be taking baking soda. You should stop eating what's giving you acid reflux, or you should get to the bottom of your gut health, what's causing that, because it can be from a lot of things. Um, and we know that most odorants have toxins like aluminum and parabens. So baking soda absorb odors. So I use baking soda as far as other thing I use once I get out of the shower. Sometimes I use the potassium that rock. I forgot what it's made out of, but I use that too.
It's an aluminum compound too, but it's not one that I guess you don't absorb it the way that you do like the aluminum in a regular deodorant, but that's what the
Okay.
crystal is made of.
Okay. I thought it was a type of well, that's interesting. Anyway, lab studies, baking soda have been shown to slow tumor growth by changing acidic levels around the cancer cells. And the real reason we stopped using baking soda because it's too cheap. You can't patent it. You can't sell it for billions. So that's why you don't hear about it like that. Um, Add a pinch to water for energy and digestion. Brush teeth with it once a week. Use it after workout recoveries. Dab under the arms. So just remember, the simple things you could do. I actually had put a little bit on my back. I had surgery a couple of days ago. So I'm gonna get hating on my surgery. So they know that I used to have this knot on the back of my shoulder, and it really bothered me. It was just I got pictures of it. This knot came out about this big on my shoulder after an accident a couple years ago.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Brace yourself, Emmanuel Briggs. You might be sensitive to this. Okay,
I'm not going to go heavily into it. All I'm going to say is a long time ago when I was seeing this doctor when I got in an accident, I showed him I had a knot in the back of my head from where I had gotten into an accident and hit something. It developed a knot that I thought was going to go down or was from swelling, but it never did. So I asked the doctor about it, and he was like, "Oh man, that's just a simple outpatient surgery, patient surgery. They ain't gonna do that, but just cut it upside down, widen it, and peel take the stuff that's in it out and close it back up. That's all they're gonna do." So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, if that's all they're gonna do, then why do I need to go to them to do it? So back in the days, you used to go to your barber for dental work for all the time. You get your arm cut off, and we went to the barber or the blacksmith did all that. So
where did this occur back in? I'm sorry. Keep going with this story.
So I have a good friend that's been my barber since I was about 13, 12 years old. I went to my barber and said, "Hey man, the doctor said if you cut this little piece out right here, you could just bop, bop, bop." And so he said, "Hey, I'll do it." So he did it. So that was my head years ago. And that came out fine. So I finally got fed up with this knot on my shoulder. So I went back to the barber and got it cut out. I didn't do anything but put ice on it for about 10 minutes. And then I let them cut in it, take the tweezers, first squeeze out all the stuff that would come out. It looked just like spaghetti meat, scar tissue. It's like a sack that holds all the scar tissue or whatever. And he pressed out all he could press out, and then he went in with the tweezers and pulled the rest of it out. And
our manifesto said, "Oh hell no!" Brittany Bowman said, "Oh my God!"
Can you imagine? No,
I would tell you. What was funny was people walking into the barbershop.
I'm in the barbershop.
I'm in a barber chair backwards, like you sit in the chair backwards. So I'm in a barber chair on my shoulder like this, would have my shirt up. And my barber got on gloves with the other barber with his camera, with his phone filming. People thought I got shot, everything. So I got video. It looks crazy. But yeah, they took the tweezers, got in there, got the sack out, took the razor, cut it, and peroxide, kept putting peroxide in to draw out all of the stuff that was inside of it. Put a little baking soda, put a Band-Aid on it, and look, I'm fine. I'll tell you if y'all want to see it. I can take the shirt off and put it to the camera.
I manifest. No one wants to see it.
Yeah, our manifesto said Belay taking it back to the 1700s. And then the Spider-Man said Belay went back to 1677 barbershop. They used to do that. Yeah, exactly. And that's Western barbers.
Right. You just put some stress on my heart, Belay. Even
I put a little shea butter on it. Hey.
Counting of the tail.
Little shea butter. Band-Aid.
He said, "Oh yeah, you ready for Mad Max world?" Yeah, exactly. Elusive views.
Right.
Think about this, y'all. What was the hospital gonna do? That my barber didn't do.
The
I'm just
Spider-Man
saying.
said you
He
got
said,
leeches
"Got
after.
leeches after."
What do you say? Hold on, let me read real quick. Let me
Got
see.
leeches afterward.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
a good one. You might could have just put a leech on top of that thing and not even get it cut open.
Exactly.
Now you want to try that next time.
Listen, man. I know I'm a country boy, and my barber is from the country where I'm from. And I mean, hey, man, if you ain't, we used to go to the farmer. We used to go to
So
pharmacy.
that makes him more apt to do it because he a country boy too. Come on,
Yeah,
man. No.
that's what that is.
No.
We used to go to the farmer. We used to go to the pharmacy to get diagnosed for something. We didn't even go to the doctor. We go to the pharmacy. Hey, not on this spot right here. What is that? The pharmacy look at it. Okay. The pharmacy be like, yeah, that's okay.
Now,
Put
and
some,
keep
put
in mind, he's offended now that the pharmacist will not tell you. If you go to Kroger, they tell you to go to the doctor.
Yeah, now when I try to go to the pharmacy down here. The pharmacist is like, no, I don't want to see that. I was like, no, just let me show it to you. Just show you what I'm thinking about. Like, damn,
The
y'all is
pharmacist
weak,
is a
man.
normal person that does not
Man.
want to see that.
Shout out to
Oh my God.
Ronald Jones. He just died in a car accident this morning. I just got the news from another. He's an author. I got the news from another author that he just died in a car accident this morning. So shout out to him and his family.
Peace be unto him.
So I did feel like I was Denzel on Glory. I just had my arms like this, like I was, because he kept asking me, like, do you feel that? Do it hurt? Do it hurt? So, but RP, what books do he have, Bob? So we know. I'm not familiar with him.
He does science fiction books. I can't remember the name of them.
Ron Brown.
Ron Jones. Ronald
Ron
Jones. Yes.
You said, I thought you said
Recipe
Johnson. You said Jones?
No, Ronald Jones.
Oh, excuse me. Well, that's easy to remember.
So, moral of the story is, if you can do it yourself, you never know what's going to happen.
That is not the moral of this story. It is not. I reject that. I'm sorry. I was going to say, just so we can go back to baking soda and get off of this, is that there are some baking sodas that are natural that you can buy, and then there are some chemically derived baking sodas. You want to stay away from those. Those are the ones that tend to be 2 for 50, 50 cents a box, 2 for $1, 3 for $1. Those are normally the more chemical baking sodas. I would put that in the refrigerator, to absorb.
Right.
But I wouldn't use that internally. You want to
We are not talking about Arm & Hammer.
Time for that.
Yes, we're not talking about Arm & Hammer. That's not what you want to be digesting.
Right.
Let me get the plug to my laptop real quick. Excuse me.
Yeah. If everyone can imagine how mortifying it was to hear that story for the first time, and now to hear it again. Oh my goodness. And to see it, because you all haven't seen it.
Right.
What's that?
Your womb.
Listen, man. It don't even look like it's just a small cut.
It does, that's true. That's true. But it wasn't a keloid. I manifesto is not a keloid. Put your sleeve down, sir.
I just want to say, yo, Amaniki is totally grossed out.
My ear looked like a little piece of fat. Yeah, I had a big keloid in this ear, and the doctor. I finally had to go to the doctor and get it removed.
Now, let me tell you, I had a small keloid on my arm right here. You know what I did?
Oh boy.
I took some fishing string and tied it around it real tight, and in a couple of days it came off. It just fell off. That's where I'm from, y'all. I am sorry. I'm not sorry. I do not apologize for my upbringing. I will not. I'm here and I'm healthy. And yeah, for boils and risings, I just posted this. So this is another country thing that we knew growing up. If you had a boil, sometimes boils won't come to a head, they'll just stay hard and be painful. What you can do is take ochre bloom, and that's the dust that comes off of the flower. It's like it looks like pollen, but it's not. It's orange. You put that on a boil, and it'll pop on its own and heal itself. And a lot of people do that from the country. So yeah.
All right. Anywho,
country doctor Pimple.
This man,
So anyway.
Country Doctor Pimple Pop over here. Yeah. Exactly.
If I could have did it myself, I would have, y'all. Just know that. You know. Ochre bloom. It's called ochre bloom. That's what
I just went to Piggly Wiggly and got it treated.
All right, Charles. Charles Wilson. I believe Charles Wilson.
I gotta figure out a prize. Whoever makes me laugh the hardest. I don't know.
Charles Williams ain't never been on our chat before. And he tell you, so you're gonna all go on our chat.
Just hanging out, waiting for biding his time.
Right.
To make the perfect outcome.
Right.
And you succeeded, Charles Williams.
I really want to show y'all, but I know Amaniki is totally against it, but I really want to show y'all the before and after.
I got shot with AR-15 twice, and I removed the bullets. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, you can send me an email. I'll send you the pictures of the before and after and during the surgery if you want to see what it looked like, the stuff that they pulled out. You want to see all that, the sac that was holding all the skin, the fibroided tissue.
Now,
that's what
he was describing this in class, and I was looking like this at him. Like, that is the most ridiculous. All right.
Mortifying.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get down to the show. People often ask us, what are the weakest parts of the body to strike for maximum damage to an attacker? There are several areas people already know, like the groin, but the number one area to strike for maximum damage is the throat. Some ignorant people would say the eyes. However, you cannot practice that. In fact, and you only got, if you got a fool who will let you practice it, you only got 2 practices. But I had a friend, Mel, and he said, "Hey, I found out how to train." He did Wing Chun. He said, "I found out how to train the Bill G, which is the finger strikes to the eyes. I said, "Oh, you have?" And he knows my thinking on the eyes. You can't train that. But he said, "Yeah. My student just wear goggles." I said, "Okay, that's interesting. You know, I want to see that." So, and we had been drinking, mind you, because I went to his home, and he taught in his home. He lived in his loft. So his students, he said, "My students, coming in." So they came in. He said, "We're going to work on the Bill G." He said, "I got these goggles for you. Cheap plastic goggles." They put on the goggles. And they working on the thing. So at first, they tippy tappy, and it's working. But then Mel got harder with his stuff, and his baby finger started traveling out, and I started cracking up. He was working with this sister who's a doctor, mind you, and he went shoot, and his baby finger went behind the goggles and poked her in the eye. So she went down. She was messed up for a couple of weeks. But then he said, "Well, Adam, you try it." I said, "We don't do no Bill G to the eyes, but okay." And I was working with his student, and I boom hit that goggles, and the goggles shattered and went into his eyes. He went down. I said, "Man, that's 2 students down, and we've been drinking. You can get sued." And so he stopped the class after that.
Yeah.
And I don't even do Bill G. I don't even know if I did it right. All I know, it hit to the eye. So I boom, and it shattered that glass. Well, plastic. So
That's also a key to know if the martial arts or the instructor is really about really dealing with real self-defense. If they're talking about techniques that you can't train, it's not real. And you'll see somebody saying, I ripped the nose off and I strike the eyes. You can't train ripping the nose off.
you can't train ripping the nose, and you can't train striking the eyes.
So it's crap.
I was gonna say too, be like, also if you have to train it, like you have to do it kind of soft, you know what I'm saying? Like how Baba comes in and does it like with full strength and
Right.
shatters the goggles, but obviously then you have to do it in a soft way. If you have to do it soft, then that's not if there's no maximum effort involved or combat speed or whatever, you're not really defending yourself with that.
Right.
Right. If you have to go super soft, you're not getting the training that you need for that technique. So the throat is very easy to damage with a single punch or strike. In fact, with this strike, you can collapse their windpipe enough to kill them. I tell my daughter, if attacked, to do this: strike hard, strike fast, to stop the attack and get away. So what we're talking about is the lion mouth. So most of you have seen it. Do I have to? I could get up just where you see. Well, from the side. For the front, this is a lion's mouth right here. So this is the area. Depending on how you hit, and you go from the throat from the side, looks like that.
And you're hitting with this web here.
Right. And the way we train that is we hit right here. So that's how we train it, so we can still strike with the force that we need to. We'll hit right up in there. So it's right there, close enough for you to get the feeling, close enough right there so you can still hit. with a decent amount of force so you can move fluidly through the technique when you're doing it. So lion's mouth, and that's how you practice it. So if I was standing up, it'd be just as simple as my hands right here. It'd be just like, hey man, I want pop, just that fast. That right there. And you're gonna get this reaction. That's what you're gonna get. Get down. So that we use that strike, and not just to the throat, but that's a great place to use it.
And if he goes here like this, he ain't hitting you, he ain't grabbing you, he's holding his throat.
Right.
So it's there. It's right there with that web in your hand. It's not the thumb, it's not the finger, it's the web. Okay. And yes, you hit right above the collarbone. You can use sizable force with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well. I love the groin kick because it's fast and it can cause serious damage. You really need to know how to throw this groin front snap kick to be effective. You use the lead leg to thrust your foot or shin up into the groin of your attacker, then run. And let's see.
And so with that you do either the foot or the shin, and you just raise your foot or shin up.
Thank you.
Now, when he's saying shin, the reason he's saying that, excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off, is because, see if you can see, the desk is cutting me off a little bit. If the person is right here, and I can do, my foot may catch him between the legs, but if I go far enough, my shin will catch him between the legs. So you're not aiming with your shin, so to speak, it's just how close you are to the person. If you're real close and you're right here, then it's just going to be this part of your foot. I mean, if you're not that close, but if you're real close, it could be this part, which is the shin. So now, I don't know if Bob is talking about like a snapping front kick like this, or a long kick like that.
A long kick, and then you just bring that foot forward. Because of course we don't just snap our kicks like outright, like karate. Right.
So yeah, and that's that kick right there could be hips too.
Now, with our stance, our stance stops that kick.
Right, you can't get that to that because our knees, the front knee is blocking that off.
Right.
See right here. This leg right here. If they cheat to that side, I can cheat a little bit if I lean into it. But even if I don't, this is kind of guarded off right here because of the stance.
Right.
So you won't catch us in the groin, but you might catch them.
All right.
Thank you for demonstrating, Billy.
I'm not a fan of doing a bunch of kicking in a self-defense situation or in a street fight. Kicking someone effectively in a fight is really difficult unless you have trained to fight with kicks for years. I do like the groin knee, which I would use right at the start of a fight. The knee is better than a kick, but it requires you to be closer than a kick. It is hard, slow, and quick. So if you can demonstrate the knee, Belay. Our knee punches into the groin.
So definitely, and we got several different types of knees. So which one would you like? We got the Michael Jackson. We got all types of knees.
No, you can do the the front knee and the rear knee.
Okay. So just move my desk just a little bit here so you guys can see. So for front knee, it's very simple, real quick. And you want to point that, the way you want to practice that is I bring this up, my hips go back, and I take the back of my heel and hit my butt if I can. How you want to throw that? You can be stationary talking. You can just raise that knee up right there. You can skip. It's not a skip.
It's a skip. It's a skip.
Skip off.
Yes.
So you take this. My back leg comes forward, and my front leg goes up or forward. They both go forward. So hands never go down. You don't ever want to top bow that knee. You want to keep your hands up. Just like that.
And the rear knee.
Rear knee, much harder. This knee is going to come all the way through. So when you throw this knee, this can be for stationary. You won't skip with this one. If you're in whatever position you're in, I'm going to be in fight because I'll at least have one leg back, even if I'm talking, whatever. It's when you shoot this knee through, you don't bring it back. It doesn't come back here. You bring it all the way through. So from back, it goes to the all the way through. Again, right here. I'm on my back. My heels is raised, but that's when I'm in fight position. I come all the way through. So again, all the way through, all the way through.
And that knee hits with such force that if you try to step back, you almost fall. You know, you have to step forward with that knee.
Right. The only way that
you can hit the groin. The main thing, the groin is a small target, as big as most men want it to be. It's a small target.
Right.
We usually aim at the thigh, at the front of the thigh, because that will put your lights out.
Yep.
I was teaching a knife technique to high school students, knife defense. And I said, do a side kick to the thigh, right? And this boy kicked me at full power. This boy, John B.A., kicked me at full power to my thigh, and it knocked me out. It was a fast knockout, just for a couple seconds. I woke up and I see him. Yay! He was happy that he had knocked the instructor out. But I said, boy, you happy you knocked me out? And I dapped him up because he caught me with a real hard, solid kick to my thigh. But if that had been a knee to my thigh, he probably would have comatized me or whatever you call it, comatose,
Comatized.
or killed me.
So I manifesto. Did we answer your question on how to transition from that stance into kick?
Well, I want to deal with Spider-Man first. What do you think of the quick leg kick like in Muay Thai? I said, with kicks like that, you have to train for a substantial amount of time, usually years, to get off kicks like the Thai kicks. All right.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the round kick. Their round kick different from our round kick. Their round kick goes up. Our round kick comes down.
Yeah. The knee is a little bit different. It's the same theory. They really get the same theory. But what they do is sometimes they'll bring their knee up and out in like this. They'll bring it up and place it forward like that. Where they're bringing all of, excuse my pants a little tight. But they're putting this part into you. So they're giving you that a lot of times. While we point our knee, and that is you getting just that.
Right.
And that's because they're wrestling with their knee too. So they'll collar tie you like this and then bring this into this section of your body.
Right.
I feel like our knee kind of punches up too, right, Baba? Doesn't it kind of you're dragging?
It punches forward. It punches forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Death from a strong blow to the thigh. Yes. It can kill you. It definitely will put your lights out.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna give you that black and white for a second.
Yes. So devastating, he had to create a word. Yeah, coma.
You can't even repeat it.
You said comatize. Yeah, you got a copyright that, Baba. That's the next book.
Right.
Okay, so Spider-Man's talking about the low kick. Is he talking about, it's hard to see my feet.
Quick low kick. Generally targeted
right
to
here.
the now, but I take your point about training for kicks. No, you're talking about their round kick. Their round kick.
Yeah, because their kick is coming like that, while our kick comes out and down.
Right.
I think that's what he's talking about. Or he could be talking about that John Jones kick where he stabs at the shit.
You say yes, Belay. You're correct.
Okay. Yeah. That's the round kick. It's not that round, it's what we call it a round kick.
Right.
Yeah, that's that's an effective kick, but like Baba said, you just have to train that to be accurate.
Right.
And don't forget, Muay Thai is a sport. So
now Muay Buran is the combat aspect that sport comes from.
And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because they're standing right in front of each other. You know, and sometimes they get into the macho trade-off. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of fights, usually people don't just stand right there. So it's a little different.
Right.
Just a reminder. Okay. So the hit to the nose, whether using a punch or a palm strike, can be very effective. If you can hit the nose hard enough to break it, then it will bleed and the eyes will water up. This will give you some time to get away, which is the objective. You need to know that just one punch may not do it, or you may need to hit the nose. Multiple times. They also may not be standing still if you start fighting back. You can expect they will move to make sure you have other punches, elbow, knees, and kicks you can do to end the attack. If you can do it with an elbow or a knee to the nose, that will provide much more force than throwing a punch. If you're in a position to throw an elbow or knee to the nose, then do it.
So we're going to look at straight punch to the nose, hacking elbow to the nose, and then a knee to the nose.
So the straight punch is just bop, just like that. Longer distance gives them more time to move, slip, and get away from it. So you got to be fast and a lot more accurate with the straight punch too. You got to be accurate and you're going to have to be fast. All right. What's the next one, Mark?
Hacking elbow.
Now, are we talking about hacking using counterbar? Which one we doing with that? Let me see.
Hacking elbow to the nose.
Okay. I'm just when I guess I'm asking, am I giving them the collar tie with that?
I mean, we would, but
Okay. So I can with them without. So the hacking elbow, and when he says hacking, that what's the best way to explain that?
horizontal elbow. Horizontal.
Right. But I'm talking about the feel of a hacking elbow comes back a little bit, right?
No.
We still follow through with that. We just call it
Yeah,
hacking elbow.
we don't retract any of our punches or strikes.
Okay, so that's just the way it's coming. But I think I'm sorry, I'm getting into class right now. But I'm thinking of like 11. That's a hack right there, right? A hacking look.
Who?
Am I
That's
correct?
a gender fist.
What is that hack? I'm thinking of something when we hack. Or is it the 12?
Yes, number 12.
That's hack.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. That was for me. Okay,
You're getting a little far away from the mic, also.
Okay, yeah, excuse me. Okay, so, and let me just make sure because I have my mic turned down too. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. So yeah, so the hacking elbow. Usually, what we would do if I'm in a situation, I'm going to put this collar tie first, and this collar tie can be a blow. So the collar tie is just it's going to the back of the head, using for counter pressure. Maybe I can use. Could I show with this helmet? Just with the head, then the collar tie come around
To the neck.
Say again, Bob.
The collar tie comes to the neck.
Yeah, so I'm coming around like so, and I'm grabbing it. This is where the neck would be in help. I'm bringing this towards me to meet this right here. That's that counter pressure. That elbow, usually when we throw an elbow, we've already thrown this, because this is a blow too. This collar tie comes in right there, and I'm bringing you to that. Wow, just like that. Boom. Without the elbow.
Notice that he's using his hip too. He's turning his hip.
Yes. And we've done this on a bag, man. This is devastating. This is so much harder than a punch. And you're bringing that to that. If you don't have the collar tie, you still can throw that elbow, just like that. What you want though, and this makes a difference, believe it or not. That right there. Let me see the right angle so you can see that. Instead of my wrist being me throwing it like this, you want that motion and throwing it. That's active. This you want your wrist active. You don't want your wrist like you want it that. Can y'all see that in that angle?
Yeah, bro.
That's how you want to throw that elbow. You really want to catch it. You really want that collar tie. It's just so much more devastating. Bring it forward like that. Woo! Yes. And knee to the nose.
Yeah.
Now for that again, that's after you gave me that elbow with that collar tie. And then now once you hit him with that nose with that elbow, you're gonna get the same motion again. And that's when you take that same collar tie, you bring it down to meet that rear knee or the front knee. Right there. Or you bring it to the side, to this knee. But I'm sure that's what you're talking about. We ain't going uphill with the knees.
No, hell no.
We ain't doing that. This ain't on box, so you ain't gonna see no round house knees. You're not doing that. it looks great on film, but that's dangerous. It takes too much time. It's not efficient. So you already getting contact, getting the elbow right here, or you getting the lion mouth right there, and the head is bending down. Now you go right down to the knee, boop, front knee right there. You don't have to aim for the nose. This area right here will be fine. Whatever happens. But if you hit the nose, you're good to go. Just know that. It's a good thing. We got another one?
No, it's on Miniki.
Well
Okay.
done, Belay.
Thank you very much.
You can cause a knockout by hitting the attacker in the chin. This will cause the brain to move rapidly in a back and forth motion. If the hit is enough, then the brain will be slightly damaged, and the motion of the brain causes them to lose consciousness. A knockout ensures that you can get away from an attacker because they are lying on the ground out cold. It will require some good skills in punching. It is not really easy to land a punch to the chin of a person to knock them out. You have to really be good and fast at punching.
Right, demonstrate hook punches, uppercut to the chin, and that's what the uppercut is with the collar tie too.
Yeah.
And whenever you throw a hook punch, you can also throw an elbow.
Hook punches are good for the chin, good knockout punch because you catch the person chin right here and you're twisting that twisting motion is really what's going to get you to fall and the ground will get you to knockout. But that's what's going to get you that motion. So right here, I'm throwing that hook punch. We're just going to bring the arm up and right, just like that. That's what it looks like with the hip. You're going to put your hips into it. So if I'm throwing the front one, I'll come, let me see if I can stand back so you can see a little bit. It's hard to see the whole picture. You don't need my head, I guess, but you need the feet. So from here, front position, I'm on my back toe, I'm raised, I'm gonna come down, and now I'm raising this foot as I throw that hook. Right? That's what that is. So that motion facing like this, just like that. I'm throwing two. That motion. That's what you want. Bop. That's going to get you something right there. Now, want to keep your elbow high. You don't want to throw. We're not talking about other practices. This is what we do. So for us, we want our elbow here. When I throw the hook, I want it there. If I was throwing it to real and throwing the hook, I'd be down here like that. So we keep our elbow up. We keep it horizontal. We don't throw our hook this way. That feels really crappy to my.
And we never turn our fists to go around the corner either.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, don't hook it. Let me see if you can see that. Don't hook that. Don't do your fist like that. That's what he's talking about. You see that bend right there? No. This is one piece. I tell students a lot of times, I picture I got one of those big shields I'm lifting up like this, and shielding my whole body with it. I pick up the shield, and I shield myself with it. In one motion. That's what that is. That's what you want with that. Just like that. That's going to get you what you need. What we got next, Mama?
Uppercut to the chin.
Uppercut to the chin. Now, the difference from our uppercut and other people's uppercuts you may see is ours is more attached to the body. We use all of our hips and legs with our uppercut. So We don't throw it like this. We don't throw uppercuts like that. Did you see that?
Yes.
You see that? Ha! We don't throw uppercuts like that. When we throw uppercuts, it's coming from here. So I'm in fight position. I'm in throwing a hook and got in close. Now I'm ready to throw this uppercut. It comes from right there. Just like that. You see it from this side. Body right there. Chin right there. Uppercut right there. It's coming off my hip. I'm throwing that. That's what I'm really throwing. And that's where the force is coming from this. And I just barely launch it from off of that. Right there. Notice each time, we didn't say this, but we said it before, each punch uses two hands. Each punch, each strike, I'm using both hands. And what I mean by that, when I do this hook, this hand is right here. When I throw this uppercut, same thing. I launch that uppercut, I'm keeping this down.
Or that other hand is the collar tie.
Which we really love, boy. If I can collar tie you and give you this right here, oh my goodness, you're gonna eat. You're gonna eat. Lord have mercy. You already got this. So you get the elbow and then you get that right there and say, oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. I feel sorry for you. So yeah, uppercut, it come from both sides. If I throw this uppercut, it's off of this hip. So I don't have to. I don't know what position I was in. Fighting position. I'm right-handed. I'm in my right-handed stance. So I can throw it from this side too. Even from the right hand, I can throw this as an uppercut, or I can throw it right there. Oop, oop, just like that. Just like that. Exploding off of this foot. That hip movement. That's where the uppercut comes from. Don't leave too far from here. Don't do all that. It's right there. And that is the uppercut to the chin. All right, what else we got here?
All right.
So,
now, one swift hit or kick to the liver or solar plexus, and the opponent is down on the ground. If you do hit the liver or solar plexus and they bend over to catch a breath, keep attacking. You can do a quick knee to the head or a kick. If you know for sure the one hit will stop the attacker so you can get away, then do it. If you need to do a few extra hits to escape, then do what you need to do.
All right.
So demonstrate a shovel punch or a knee to the liver. Now to the solar plexus, it's usually, if you pull him down, you can do a knee, or if he's up, you can do a shovel. A shovel punch is just an uppercut. A low
just
uppercut.
a different trajectory. The uppercut with a slightly different trajectory. So, good, Bob.
What'd you say?
No, I was just saying it's a slightly different trajectory from the uppercut. The uppercut is going up. The shovel punch goes outward a little bit more. Same philosophy. I'm using my hips and I'm coming off of that, except now I'm coming this way with it. So the shovel punch is going here. So I really wish I had my bob. All I got is my wrestling down. He don't get off the ground much. But so shovel punch, and again it could be either side, so I can throw it from here. That's a little click right there to the, and that would be the side actually. If I'm right hand, if you're in your right hand stance, that means the liver's gonna be on this side. I'm correct right now. Liver's on the
liver's on the right side, yes.
Yeah. So if I'm in the right handed stance, then it's right there. That shovel punch is gonna be right there. So it's boom, right there. Boom. From here, I'm putting all this up. I come from forward. flatten I'm on my back toe. I come down and I shift all the weight forward up in that gut. Because it's gut or liver, right?
It's solar plexus or liver, yes.
Yeah. So solar plexus or liver. So that right there, that pushing forth, that striking, pushing, that is devastating. But I hit the solar plexus or the liver, and you can do solar plexus from each. It don't matter which one I throw. They both can go to solar plexus. This is harder to hit the liver if I throw my left. But you can get solar plexus from both. So no matter which one I hit, I go with, I can throw that in there. All hits. And the side is that. Launching it from the hip. Right there. So that is the shovel punch. What was the other one? They had another one.
Knee.
Oh, knee.
Now, knee does not go to the solar plexus in our system.
No. That's what we talk.
Right, but it will go to the liver.
Yes. So going to the liver, that could be either the rear or the front also. Just depending on the stance, the position, and everything. So if you're in the right stance, then it's going to probably be the front knee. You got the collar tie in, you already bang, gave him one of them, or one of these, or uppercut. Now you grab both hands, or you keep the one, or you grab both hands, and boom, you throw that knee in there. Perfect time to throw the knee in there. Pressure points, what? Pressure points, if you all
to it. Now,
okay.
So with pressure points, we don't aim for them because a person may have a coat on. You may not know, but I grew up in Chicago. And in Chicago in the wintertime, people have on these big coats. That's like armor on a pressure point, but you can still hit the liver. You can hit the solar plexus. You can hit the groin. You can hit the knee,
Right.
thigh. So you still have things you can hit.
Also, when we train, what we learned is, and what we teach after martial arts, and what Bible teaches is growth motor movements. Or how your body's going to move in combat situations. And also, so that goes along with your aim and what your target is. You want the largest targets you can get. So the neck is large, the nose, that's why the nose, you have to just aim around that area. Because that takes a lot of skill to get that technical. But if I just hit your elbow in your face, I'm gonna get somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So that's another reason why we don't aim for pressure point. Why we don't even aim for the groin, the testicles is not that big. But if I need you in your thigh, that's big. That's a big target. You know what I'm saying? Your gut is a big area if I can hit with any of these and do a lot of damage. And also we have a hierarchy when it comes to delivering strikes, what we want to do and what we don't want to accomplish as well. So that's another reason. So again, if I'm aiming for you may hit the solar plexus. I guess if you got them down, they bent this way, maybe you can get in it.
Or if you're tall and they're short.
Well, if you're tall and you're short, you still wouldn't go for their solar plexus with the.
But I'm saying you might end up hitting it.
Oh yeah, well no. If you tall and they short, like Belay's tall and you short, there's no way he should be going up towards your. If you're both standing, he should be going up towards your solar plexus.
Okay.
No way, because when he lifts his leg that high, then you could scoop him off his feet.
Okay, so that answers I Manifesto's question: why not solar plexus with knee? Because you're lifting the leg too high It makes you
Right.
vulnerable.
Unless he's bent over, then you can go.
Even the
You can hit the solar plexus, the liver, the nose, the mouth. You can hit anything with it then.
Yeah, bro.
even the famous Bruce Lee didn't believe in kicking above the waist.
Not in real life, no.
Yeah, not in real life, only in the cinematic world. So yeah, that's why we do not do it. No Papa the Solar Man uppercuts, no sir. No Papa the Solar Man uppercuts.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Petty Gibbs.
So yeah, those are bare knuckle straight punch boxing style. And the reason, if you ever notice, boxers and even MMA people that go to bare knuckles versus people who started in bare knuckle, they get hit a lot. And the reason is because when you got bare fists and you train bare fists, that's why we don't train with gloves and all that stuff. It's because you need to be familiar with the distance in between your hands. You need to be familiar with the distance with the weight of the gloves and with the distance between the opening and on the sides and behind. Because what happens is you used to having on gloves and you holding your hands a certain way, thinking you in defense, and a person with bare knuckles sees a wide opening that you don't even pay attention to because you used to have gloves on. And so this is tight enough for you, and they just slip it right between them with strikes. So definitely.
And that conditions your fist too.
Right. Because I train bare knuckle, I can hit. I don't advise this, but I never use gloves hitting the bag. I don't have to. Unless I go for over 15, 20 minutes on the bag, then yeah, I'm start getting a little raw on there. But
so people used to look at me like I was crazy. Like when I go to boxing gyms, they're like, "Oh, you gotta use bags to hit this heavy bag gloves." I said, "No, I don't. You do, but I don't have to use gloves."
Yes, I have. I definitely don't. I just the ballers. His was from martial arts training, and mine was from being a country boy. We ain't have no gloves. Everybody, I go to town to the boxing center. Everybody got gloves on. I ain't have no gloves. Just like baseball, I had to learn how to catch with the opposite hand. I ain't have to quit.
You caught balls hit with just your bare hand, huh?
When I tried out for baseball, because it was so hard to get a left-handed glove that I can only try out with a right-handed glove. So I would automatically catch the ball with my left. And then I had to learn, instead of my right-handed glove, I would catch it with my left, and then I throw it with the same hand. So I catch it and then throw it. And then I finally learned to catch with my right. It was a mess, y'all. It was a mess. Anyway, I used to take the glove in my right, because a right-handed glove is really on your left hand.
Right.
So I would catch the ball with this hand by mistake. I would catch the ball sometime my left, sometime I'd take the glove off and catch it and just throw it on the field. It was a mess, man. It was a mess. Baseball was hard for me. It took about 3 years before the country got left-handed gloves. Anyway, I'm in California. Okay. Okay, so the temples are located between the eyes and ears. This is a soft area on our body that is susceptible to attacks. You should massage it too, periodically. Feels really good. A sharp hit to the temple will cause issues with the arteries that run in that area. The hit can knock down the attacker or cause them to lose consciousness. Now, this close we get to pressure point attacks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, the difference from us, we ain't gonna go to the temple with That's not how we get there. We don't. I used to want to do that so bad, boy, to hit somebody. It would hurt. If I kept into it, that would hurt. But man, I'm telling you, to do that when you got all your adrenaline flowing through your body, that's not easy. So what am I demonstrating right now?
Hook punch and palms.
Yes. So a hook punch, we've seen that. Simple. Raise the shield, bring it across the body. Boop, just like that. Boop, boop. Those are temple strikes. If you don't hit the temple, then you got the jaw. If you don't hit the jaw, then you snap that chin. Either way, a lot of damage for that. So that's that. Pause, we're looking at, now we talking both hands or we just talking a slap to the side right here?
It can be either.
So, of course, we know this is just like opening a jar. Same way your hand be like that. Now you're holding it like this. And with these right here, you don't just walk up like this. But that's how you hold it when you get ready to strike. So you're here, pop, just like pop, right there. So boot, or it could be both hands, slap like that. If you haven't seen Baba do that to me, I'm so glad I'm not with him right now. Because he probably would. And even with that helmet on, no matter what, that is so, that force right here, oh my goodness. Listen. That's all I can tell you, that's bad. So yeah, both hands or the hook to the tip.
I accidentally got a hairline break in my arm from hitting wrong. Oh, what you were trying to do?
I think, are they talking about baseball?
I think she's talking about hitting somebody. From I don't know how you got a hairline fracture in your arm, but wow.
Well,
Now I got from this hit to the temple. I got I broke my fourth metatarsal, metacarpal. I think it's called carpal.
Yeah, in the hand.
And I was at it with this dude. He rushed me. I stepped off, boom, and he flipped. Boom. He was knocked out. And I was fucked up. He was knocked out, but I said, get up, punk. I knew he wasn't gonna get up, and I was praying he didn't get up. After that, I had to go to the hospital, and they x-rayed, and they was like, you have a boxer. That's called a boxer's fracture. Yeah. And it was from what she said, no fighting. Mine was from fighting.
No, she's saying no, not baseball, fighting. She got it from fighting.
Oh, no fighting. Yeah. I figured it was from fighting.
Jay said somebody double clapped their hands on my ears when I was a kid. It felt like they perforated my ear. My eardrum for days.
My eardrum for days afterward. Wow.
Yeah, that's
I mean, they were using a lot of force. I've hit him, boom, but not with force enough to shatter his eardrum.
You easily could have.
No, I couldn't have. Now, my student Akin Bobola, he shattered one of my eardrums with a padded stick one time. I feeling myself. I decided to spar him and another student who's a full instructor, Aku. I was sparring both of them with single sticks. And so I took Aku's stick, boom, took it from him, and then I was coming at Akinbobola, and he was scared, and he just jumped back, pop, and popped me in his goddamn ear. I said, tap, tap, just like that. I knew he had shattered that mug, and he did. I couldn't hear out that ear for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Are you saying that you couldn't shatter eardrums with your palm strike, bro?
No, I can shatter your eardrum. I said I wouldn't have because I didn't hit you hard enough.
Oh, right. Okay, I got you. I thought you were saying you. I was about to say shit.
No, I can shatter your eardrum with a palm strike, but
right. You just wasn't.
I wasn't trying to shatter your eardrum.
Right. I got it. It felt like it was, but I understand what you're saying. I got you.
That brings us to the next section. Hitting someone in the ear may cause the attacker to lose hearing and can disorient them. If the hit is hard enough, you can rupture the eardrum, causing the attacker to become disoriented. You only need a small amount of time to get away.
Yes.
So that's just like what he did to the temple.
Exactly.
Pop, or pop.
Powerful. Right there.
Yeah.
Woo. I don't like to do that. I don't like to do that to even inanimate objects because Baba got me emotionally. But I'm trying to tell y'all, every time he used to do that, every time it feels the same. It never feels right. And I'm not exaggerating, y'all. He don't try to do it hard. But first of all, he heavy-handed. That's the first one thing. But secondly, even the slightest, especially from using both hands, when you use both hands and strike to the ears, for a minute your brain shakes. Y'all understand that? Like even if you just for that quick second, it's jarring. That shit is jarring, man. So that is a very deadly strike. People don't use that enough. I'm telling you. People don't use that enough. And after that, then you just grab their ears and headbutt them. And then they probably did after that.
Very unique and special antennas. So they might be a little bit more sensitive.
Really? That's what you're going to do? Okay. All right.
Was that a negative? I don't think I'm trying to listen to what you were saying earlier. I felt like I didn't say anything negative.
Yeah. You can kick the shin or rake down the shin with your shoes if an attacker has grabbed you. This would just hurt and not incapacitate, so you would have to add some other technique to knock out or seriously hurt an attacker. So demonstrate an oblique kick to the shin and the John Jones side kick to the shin.
So
they're both with the heel. I don't know if Jones' kick is with the heel, but both of our kicks with the heel.
Yeah, so this is ugly. Let me move this way out. Very painful, very painful. This is how we get you to bend down too. And
right.
So I really wish I had something to aim at. So from here, this is front or back foot. Just depends. If you got the collar tied, you put that way, you may come from this way, or you may come from this way. But what I'm using is, so you can see this part, my heel. I want to come down, place that like that. Like so, boom. This is what I want right under the knee, and then come down on that. Step right through. If I'm using my back, same thing. This, and then I come down. A lot easier with the front, because you're right there. So say I just caught you with the elbow, or I collar tied you, hit you with the uppercut, and now here, right there on the knee. Just like that. You don't have to be not a very pop. You don't have to hit hard, just coming down with it. Same way with that needle when you push all the way through. That oblique kick, you come down man, with sneakers on or whatever you got on, whatever shoe you got on, that's gonna really hurt. So it's out, down. You start up, extend, down. As I step forward. Down with that right there. That's all that is. And just like that. Very, very painful. Very painful. Now, the John Jones is a little bit more, it's side kickish a little bit. And I believe he uses not just the heel, but he uses also the the outstep or the instep right here.
No, the instep is inside.
Right. So this would be the
Outstep. I don't know what you call that. The blade. The blade of the foot.
Here we go.
blade. Yeah. So out blade. So this would be you either using this part, or you can use your heel, or I guess the instep is this area right here.
Yeah, but we use the heel.
Yeah. So we use the heel. So that would just be from the side this way. So you could be like here. You could turn side, so you would turn to the side for this one. From right here, it would. I'm on my back foot. I come down and now from the side like that. So from here, it's a dart out front. It's almost like a teeth kick for the shin, but it feels like a little bit. So again, yeah.
If you step back a little bit, you won't. We won't lose your foot behind the chair when you actually do the kick.
Okay. So from here, on back foot, it's just right there, just like that. Heel. Okay. Heel. Or you can just, if I'm not taking a step, and what I'm doing is turning my ankle inward like this. My foot in, my back foot is like here. I'm turning it in and allowing this to go out. Right here. So from right here. Right there at the shin. That's what you're getting with that. Nasty.
Yep.
Okay, so you can hurt someone badly with a strike to the ribs, but it has to be really solid hit to break the ribs. Now we basically showed you that the same punches that we use for the shoulder punch. Yep. So that's just gonna be that shoulder punch. What other punch was that? Was it a hook punch too?
A hook punch.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, yeah. So like I said the first time, we believe in keeping that shoulder square to the elbow for maximum efficiency and power. So if I'm up there for your chin and I want to get to your ribs, then I'm lowering my level. And I'm shooting that same principle. I was up here at the chin, now I'm down here at your ribs. So I may be up high with this one and then drop down to this one right here. So
He was hitting your ribs on me, nigga. Thinking about you because he's hitting low.
right there. Boom. Tell them real up. Stumble punch. A lot of times, so say she tried to slap me, I'm saying somebody tried to slap me in the ear, right? So
Wow.
I shift this way, and I throw the shovel right there to the ribs, right up in the rib cage. Like, shift, after I slip. I'm joking, but that's when a good time to throw the uppercut and the shovel off of the slip.
It's good in those scenarios.
Yeah, exactly. Just real case scenario, just in case. So she slapped. Somebody tried to hit me in the ear. So I slipped right here. I'm already cocked and loaded. The slip is already given me. What you say?
I said, do you keep saying she? Am I just imagining that?
No, slip of the tongue. So again, I just flipped that, and now I'm already loaded. I just come up and explode the hip. That's what makes a slip perfect to throw an uppercut and a shoulder punch because you already down, you're right here, boom. But you don't have to be there. You can just change levels. You up here, all of a sudden, you lower your level. You pop, 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 boom, through the elbow, pop, and you just shift it just like that.
Yeah, bro. And speaking of genderizing things, since you were just doing that might be another. I think that's the third made up word during this whole
genderizing.
Yeah. As a woman, I've been thinking about, all of these techniques and the ones that would be most effective, because when you think about the ones that you deliver to the body, depending on the person, they might be a little bit more conditioned in the body. So there may be areas that you think about concentrating on. It's hard to think when you're in those situations, though. So the best thing to do is to make sure that you're training, and I'm really talking to myself, so that you deliver the most effective punch, depending on the situation, or the most effective strike, depending on the situation. But, if you're up against a certain size man or a man who is really training, there may be areas that are a little less vulnerable to you. But you want to, think about choosing your spots wisely.
Well, that's why I started off saying the throat is the best place to strike. No matter how much training a person does, you can't never condition your throat.
Right. Yeah, bro.
And another reason why you train is to be able to be calm in that moment, so you can remember and those type of things. And so you can assess the situation. Like, oh, he look a little over here. If I get a chance, I'm gonna touch that up. You pay attention to more, you see more, and you're able to do more if you train. If you train. So we encourage you to hit the like button and to train with us.
Absolutely. And when you are attacked or in a fight for your life, then you have to do what is necessary to get home. Once you have stopped the attack, then run and get away. Training is a very important aspect of fighting off an attacker or for self-protection. So train. Again, train.
Right. Because sometimes.
Any questions from you all?
Sometimes you can't run. Sometimes you can't pull that pistol out. And you ain't got nothing else to do. You're gonna have to sometimes defend yourself.
You have to bang. When I teach people how to shoot without flinching, because I've been asked to do that a couple of times by shooting instructors. You say, what should I do? I say, well, have them train first. Because if a person trains, they'll be calmer under fire too.
Yeah, Bo.
And that's proven itself.
Yeah, Bo.
Okay, real quick before we go, Bo, I'm going to ask y'all to do this for me. Now, this is just me. I gotta ask y'all this, man, because it's just something bothering me. It's eating at me, y'all. So, if y'all happen to see someone on the internet, social media, Facebook or IG, maybe they got the name Dojo Life, maybe they don't. I'm just saying. But if you ought to see this person and they're talking about taking somebody's faith and principles that you only getting from over here, I'll put a little comment saying, that sounds like Baba Balaguno the title. That sounds like African martial arts right there that he talking about. Because listen, this don't bother Baba like it, but he used to it. He been doing this for 700 years. I can't, y'all, this shit eats at me, y'all. To see people read his books and then go out there and say the shit like they thought of the shit. And can't give too much of an ego to give homage and pay homage where it's due. So they start talking. The difference from them and us is we take the space. Who is us? Who is the us you talking about? Because I know the martial arts you profess, and it ain't in that. So who the fuck is us?
Right.
Yeah,
What we do. That's the difference from them and us. So now you taking our shit and saying it's us now.
Right.
But you won't even give, man, listen, y'all, please. If you see that going on, please say, hey man, that's not that, hey, that's them, that's these guys. Because what happens is because we don't peacock the way other people do, we're not all over social media. And for more reasons than one, it's everybody don't supposed to have everything.
Right.
You know, so we don't put everything we do on social media for just anybody to get it, because anybody gonna train anybody, and we don't want just anybody doing African martial arts or having the African martial art principles that we use. So you play a dangerous game when you take from what we do and you try to spread it all to everybody, and you play a really, 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 really dangerous game when you claim it to be yours and don't pay any homage to where it come from. And that's all I got to say about that, y'all. So I would appreciate y'all help with that.
Now, Aket says I need the information on the book so I may order. You can get African Warriors Bible. You can get I mean it's a lot of books. You can get What Would Ominiki Do? WWOD. You can get Warrior Claspirations. That's a book of proverbs and affirmations.
That's the newest book, though, right?
Right.
I got that from my son.
You can get I said African Warriors Bible. You can get USPI self-defense manual. Look, I've got 42 books. Half of them, almost half of them are nonfiction. So dealing with survival and self-defense. But African Warriors Bible, USPI self-defense manual, and WWOD would be the best books for you. If you know somebody or if you have physical issues, I would say get Alaba Lachey. Alaba Lachey. ALABASE. Alaba Lachey. Let me see. ALABALASE. Alaba Lachey. That's for people with physical issues. But other than that, you can get, like I said, the African Warriors Bible or USPI self-defense manual.
I just wanted to say also, I know we have lurkers in here and even people who've been with us for a while. Maybe none of you own Baba's books, but these are well-written, well-thought-out books. I know sometimes with the more cultural books, they aren't as well-written. In my experience, that's what I've seen. But Baba is a writer, like for real. So these are good books for you to get, in addition to watching warrior class shows, for you to get great information on on self-protection.
You'll get information that there's some information that we don't even cover on warrior class, because of course putting it in the book, certain people aren't going to go for it.
Right.
We know that's the best way to hide information. So definitely check these books out. There are a lot to pick out. And yes, you can order them from Amazon.
Look for Bob's name.
I just had this conversation with my wife. She was telling me to get my website back up. My website was called Chronicles of Harriet, which is my first book that I brought out. It's a fiction book on Harriet Tubman. That was a popular website, but I was doing, well, people aren't even doing websites like that no more, but I was doing 2 blogs a week. I just couldn't maintain that.
And the blogs were great. They were great.
Yeah, so now, but she's been talking to me about, starting up a website again, so I can do one sell my books on there and disseminate information. I would do a martial art website now if I did one.
Right.
So, but yeah, you can get my books on Amazon.
Yes, Google the name; it'll come right up.
All my fiction books except the 2. I think he's still on Amazon, but I'm not sure. Milton Davis, he published 2 of my books. One, Once Upon a Time in Africa, that's fiction, and The Turning of the Bones, that's also fiction. That's The Turning of the Bones is horror, and Once Upon a Time in Africa is epic fantasy.
Yeah, bro.
So,
and again, one more time, you see these people out there taking shit that you know is not theirs. Tell them to knock it off. Tell them, say that ain't yours, man. Knock it off, man. Using Asian verbiage with African principles. Come on, man. Knock it off, man. Knock it off.
right.
I appreciate that.
My bad, Bila. I don't mean to cut you. On a lighter note, I do love to laugh, so I just want to shout out Charles Williams one more time for giving me such a big laugh. I want to sponsor you for a Warrior Class T-shirt, Charles. Inbox the it's African Martial Arts on Instagram, right?
Or Warrior Class BDP. I mean, not
Warrior Class
BDP.
on Instagram.
BPM.
Out to the inbox on Instagram so I can get your information. I don't know what your size is, but I want to sponsor you for a T-shirt, and I mean, yeah, that was great. I really appreciated that.
Jay, you ain't even got that. Ain't even Jay. You already know. Trust me, Jay. Trust me on that. And we're glad that you found us too, Mr. Mason. We are very glad that.
Yeah, bro. Much
love. That's a good idea. Okay, that's a good idea.
You see, a martial arts website would be dope. That's from the Darion. I think so. I think it would be, especially the African martial arts website. You got other martial art websites, but
and we do have a Patreon.
Or has the idea to create a talking website that even a child can follow.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I think interesting idea.
Right. Great show, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and your week. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Yes. So, if there's no more questions, be safe in your homes. Be safe out in the world. Stay black or whatever it is that you may be. Peace.
Peace.
Keep those hooks up. Don't palm strike your loved ones in the ears, please.